Welcome back to Knox Locks. And today's a little something different from my channel here. In the sense, we'll be doing a Star Wars theme, and that will be for the May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. That's yesterday. And I did a couple of projects yesterday. One intentionally, and then one realizing I need some upgrades, or I need some things to change. And then after ripping a couple fingers open, and just I'm literally swinging around a glorified uh, flashlight here. Well, especially the Kenobi edges on there were sharp, but I cleaned up good with some emery paper. For me, emery works best just because it does not tear. The paper is going to tear apart on you real quick. That emery cloth goes a long, long way. So, I just want to make sure I have everything set up okay. It's my first stream in a long time. I don't see anybody in chat. I don't know if anybody's out there. Just say what's up or thumbs up. But anyway, so I wanted to do some antiquing. Well, not really antiquing. I wanted to make this Obi-Wan Kenobi blade, or hilt rather, look ancient. And I think I did a pretty good job. So it was rough around the edges. And boy, did I sand those down. So, in order for the aluminum black to take, you've got to aggressively sand. That's why I recommend the emery cloth, just because those grains are thicker and really gets into the aluminum a lot. And look at how nice and black that is. It took to the copper and brass. Those are two different, one's copper, one's brass, and the rest is all, I'm assuming, steel or maybe some aluminum. But I opted out for the pen version. So this way it was nice and easy. I could just, put it on where I wanted. Otherwise it would have came in like a jar, maybe something like this size. And yeah, I've seen other people, they take their hilts off and they'll just drop them in, or they'll soak them in, or they'll take a rag or something or dip it in the jar and let it. No, I don't do that. I did it with the pen, and man, it worked out great. So here's my kind of rhythm to it. I'd start off with the rough, thick grains of the emery cloth. And look, it got dark. Look at that. Down here where the grenade is, and look at the control panels. Look at that. In a way, some people think, oh, that's disgusting. But no, the idea is this is supposed to be like a, whatever, 200, 300-year-old lightsaber that's been sitting in whatever Tatooine desert, and God knows wherever the hell Jabba had it for the time it was around his fucking place. But anyways, nasty people had their hands on it in between Luke and other people's. So to me, if you're going to get a lightsaber, this one kind of represented the most amount of characters I liked that I grew up with. So, for example, I liked Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then Luke, as I was born in 78, that's how old I am, so I came out with the original series. So, when I was literally like a kid growing up, they were still, coming out with Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, that kind of stuff. So now after you hit it with the aluminum black, you go back and touch it up. Don't go back with the emery cloth, because you're going to rip it raw again and take away the black. You come back with a finer sandpaper. So like this is 11,000. I got 3,000 and then 7,000. So I didn't even use the last two at all. So I really just mostly used the emery cloth, and as you could see, and it's weird that that's white and what's turning on is black, but that's the chemicals. That's the chemical reaction. And I'll show you the marker. The marker looks clear. So you really have to look at where you're putting it, how much you're putting on, and because I wanted it dark, I just let it kind of dried there and then sanded it off. Well, now it's dark because I guess I did enough of a lightsaber. And it turns right before your eyes, so that's what I was going to do another spot for you. But it's really at a place right now. I was having a little bit of trouble around the control box because even though I sanded it, I, the black wasn't taken in so good. I mean, now you can see it's all in there, all in there. Like I can't rub that out, that's in the steel, all in there. And all these corners are now rounded. So I mean, when you grab this, or you know what I mean, it's in your hands. Before this came to me, those corners were sharp. I mean, not just the corners. I mean, look really at the. I rolled the edges. I was thinking it was like fretwork for my guitar. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna roll these edges the best I can. So as I'm, spinning my lightsaber, doing whatever, none of the control box corners are jabbing me anymore. For real, last week when it first came, you see where the scabs were. But I mean, obviously right there, and when I was like, mine didn't come with, and this video is my first whatever Jedi video, but use fucking gloves for God's sakes, man. Like nobody kind of says that. Like I guess that's kind of common sense at a certain point, or like if it hurts, maybe you should stop. But anyways, so that's antiquing. Now we're down to problem solving. Okay, so both of these are 1 inch blade. This is NeoPixel. This is XenoPixel. What's the difference? Nah, one's a little brighter than the other. Other than that, not much. This has a 2 button system. This has a 1 button system. And oh, my tape just fell. What I like about this one, it is a cheaper model by a good deal. Well, not by a good deal, but whatever. Enough. It has a button right there. Well, that's the USB charger, and has a button to turn it on and off. And as you're spinning or you're whatever, it's right in your grip, man. Here, I'm going to show you the lightsaber on so you can see all this lights up and shit. So you don't really want to. Power on. Okay, come on. There we go. Okay, so it goes in there. So you really don't want to be grabbing it from here all the time. And it becomes very uncomfortable real quick. So I started with the tape down here. But that meant the button was in my palm. So every time that I was doing whatever, as it's, I'm spinning it around, it's spinning in my hand. Eventually I would hit it, and it would, let me turn that off for you. 2 shakes, 2 twists, off. It's going rogue. Now it's going to go rogue. Okay, so the idea. Oh, I might have to go through the phone. There you go. How I'm going to stop that from happening. First of all, I never used that button. There's an app in the phone. So I use the app in the phone to control the colors and the fonts and the whatnots. So I was like, okay, how am I going to tape that handle? I can't just tape the button down. So I thought about what kind of washer, maybe something I could. And I had 3 different, I brought them out here. Here you go. I had a couple different caps that I was like, if you look at the size of the button, I was like, okay, well, maybe if I just I was going to cut it down a lot, obviously. But maybe if I just pick one of these as a cap and then tape over it. But then that's going to be a major inconvenience when you know what I mean? Right in the palm of your hand, a big lump, or, as you're trying to maneuver around the hilt, it's in your way. No, you don't want to do that. So, luckily, I play guitar, and I have these rubber washers that come with the cheaper straps that I buy for strap locks. And I use real strap locks, so this was just hanging out. I was like, oh, whoa, like, that'll work. That'll work. So I had to cut off or flatten the edge, or whatever, just, make it flat so that the charger could fit. And then I lined up, it literally floats just on the edge of the rim of, where the button is. It doesn't touch the button, but it's right on the edge of it. And then electrical tape the shit out of that for a second, just to make sure it's in the right spot. And yeah, dude, like I think that now finally, I'm gonna tape up the rest of the hilt, but like now finally it's in a good spot where I'm gonna be able to whip this thing around, like a crazy person and not have to worry about the blade flying out. See, that's what the Holy Kenobi's cool and all, but at the end of the day, this is a 36-inch blade, and that's only like what, half inch? And then maybe with the grub screws where they're at, a quarter, quarter inch maybe, between quarter and half an inch, that's holding your whole damn blade in. It gets shaky. So that's why I said I don't trust it too much. For this one slides all the way down into the hilt. So it's literally, the grub screws are being put in double stacked, one on the bottom, one on the top, and then it literally drops down to here. So you got a good 2 inches of stabilization on top of the grub screws holding it in place. So I mean, this thing's steady, man, steady. So I just had to figure out how to get that damn button out of the way, because literally every time I'm spinning it from hand to hand, boom, my finger would hit it and the blade goes off. And I mean, it's not like I'm fighting Darth Maul over here or anything, but I'm just saying, I'd like my shit to work. Yeah, that's where whoever the last person watching this, give you a little health update. That's where we're at as far as health wise. I need to do physical therapy. So I figured, all right, I can punch a bag, I can swing a kendo sword. It's May 4th. So I was like, you know what? Let me swing my lightsaber instead. Make it a little more fun. So now I'm taping up this hilt. And already, man, that's a difference. Like, that feels a lot better. A lot better. So I'm gonna whack this down here, and then after I walk it down to the rest of the way, I might cover it with black electrical just to see how it looks. So, hey, Sharman Hammer, what's up, brother? Sorry, I said earlier I didn't see it on my phone. It's hard to see comments. Letters are really small. All right, let's see. Can you see the hilt a little bit? Let me get a little up here a little better. I'm gonna get over here. There you go. All right, let's make it work. Hope everybody enjoyed your weekend. Did something fun for May 4th. Or it's just another day in the neighborhood, maybe. I mean, technically, what's George Lucas's people call it? National Life Day or Earth Day? Earth Day. No, I don't know. Something like that. But anything promoting peace, love, and unity can't be all that bad, right? Okay, once I make one full, I'm not even on the screen, damn. All right, I can set this up maybe sideways. All right, once I make one full rotation, which I'm almost halfway there, once I make one full rotation, I'm gonna start angling it. Not quite 45, but we'll see what pattern starts popping up in the tape as we walk it down. Keeping it super, super tight as we go. And I mean, ultimately, I kind of want to keep that frequency because that's what's going to create our grip, just like taping it back. I mean, I wouldn't preferably use white, but if you felt the cushiness of this type, this is like I said, batting tape, you'd be like, oh, damn, dude, all right, I get it. And I didn't want to use thick batting tape for the electrical stuff up here.
Power off.
Oh yeah, I have it rigged so if I don't use it for 10 minutes, it turns off. Wow, I've been doing it for 5 minutes maybe. Guess I haven't even been streaming that long. And it has a kind of, I'll show you a little better. It already has a pre-existing, if you want to call it pattern for health there. So I'm literally just covering that with the tape. I mean, you could see that it's so tight, it's picking up the engravings. But yeah, this is actually pretty thick tape, like, pattern tape. I'm probably pretty stupid for doing it with the blade in. Like, if this is just the hilt, I should probably. I know I got putting crazy pressure on it or anything, but still, just these blades are testy. Temperamental. There you go. Much better word. Temperamental. Okay. I'm just trying to keep it on that same angle so it keeps it kind of patterned, but at the same time, I'm trying to make sure the same piece of tape covers. Hopefully, you'll be able to see it when I'm done. The pattern that was originally burned into the hilt. You can see it now, obviously. But I like it. That switch is holding up in there good. There we go. Yeah, I do gotta be careful not to be pushing that all around. Yo, honestly, for real, like I watched a couple of videos about Savvy's workshop and whatnot, and it made me think, like, I live deep in the heart of dirty Jersey, and the parks here are actually rather nice and big, just because everybody's house sucks. So they gotta at least have some place to fucking hang out. Anyways, I was thinking about, you know, what if someone else created, meaning, okay, right now, Savvy's the way I understand it. They give you 3 or 4 options that you choose before you make your saber, and it's in, whatever, 4 or 5 parts. You assemble the parts that you like together, and then they activate the blade. Master Yoda or someone jumps up on the horn, says some stuff to hype everybody up. You jump up your blade, you light it, and celebrate. Now, that's a very cool experience. I would have loved to have had that as a kid. Honestly, that'd be awesome. Came up just a little short on the hill, just a little bit. But yeah, I think it's coming out good. Comfort-wise, kind of looks like shit compared to a nice uniform CNC engraved lightsaber, but that one's for battle right there. That one's for war. Getting ready for war. You never know when that sis might be jumping around the corner. Yeah, I'm really happy with the. Like I said, I've never really used aluminum black before, and I do not have the type of money to spend like $700, $1,000, or $1,400 on like I think they call it the creepy uncle or the wanderer or the what's the other one that they call him from Clone Wars, the negotiator. There you go. But I mean, ultimately, they're all Obi-Wan, with the exception of his Padawan one, which kind of looked like the bottom of that. If you add that to kind of like that, that's what it kind of looks like, sort of. Anyways, like I said I'm old school, so I kind of I like Kenobi, and I originally as a kid I liked Luke, but looking back now as an adult, I don't really feel the same way as Luke would be my favorite cat. Like if I was a Jedi, Luke would be me. I don't really feel that, but then I don't have that exact character I could tell. Well, then who would you be? I honestly don't know. Wow, it's gonna be a little thick right there, going on twice, but that's all right. And the reason why I'm saying try to stick with the grain or stick with it is, if you see, is it leaves that ribbon, that stripe. I'm doing that intentionally by the way that I'm wrapping that down, whatever, about a quarter of an inch altogether by the time it wraps, 360 degrees. Ooh, you know what? Good idea. I gotta remember right now to mark, and right here is where you would put the thing to hang it from your waist. It's not the keychain holder, but that's what I think of as when it's on my belt, it'd be like holding my keys. But whatever, hold your lightsaber. I think you know what I'm talking about. But let me get a black pen so I can mark that. That's the last thing I want, is not to be able to. I was so afraid of messing up my lightsabers. You have no idea. Make that a little high, but I don't know what it means. Okay. Putting that aluminum black all over this and seeing it all get like corroded and get all like funky and nasty. I was like, oh man, dude, am I ruining my lightsaber? Like for real? Like, am I fucking my shit up? And no, not at all. It came out quite damn nice. And I mean, honestly, when you look at the difference between a regular Kenobi and a weathered one, so I take the battery out now, just because I could even cut the tape. I think we're pretty much done. That was planned, I promise. Yeah, this I'll show you the. Unlike the Kenobi, if I would have taken the hilt off the Kenobi, immediately the chassis would have came out with the battery and the thing that makes all the noises. This one, it's way up there, and it charges through a charge port. Like I said, that's why I kind of had to leave that black in the middle and cut that special little shielding. So I didn't want to keep pushing the tape beyond the threading at the bottom. It looks like we're there. Be nice and even with the chrome if I can. I just gotta remember to punch that hole once I put this around. The whole time I'm putting it around, I'm twisting it really tight too. Oh wow, it's already starting to have strings come undone. Yeah, if you see it getting dark and dirty all real fast, yeah, that's from the aluminum black that's still all over my hands. And all over the lightsaber. I'm sorry I'm doing this off camera, but it's something I really have to do by eye, and I can't do it through the camera's eye. And we're there. Okay. I just wanted to make sure, I'll let you know, seeing it there, that it came nice and square at the bottom. I'll make sure it didn't come up and cover the threads and push the pommel back. Man, these lightsabers can be very, very picky. Very, very picky. Like the battery can get stuck on something on the inside of the tubes I don't even know exists, and it catches it, and you don't know it's coming like that. And I mean, you gotta remember, ultimately, at the end of the day, these things are being mass produced in China by people that probably aren't exactly happy about doing it, so they're probably just pumping them out as fast as they can. I'm just gonna wrap that around. I don't even need to cut it. Normally, technically, you would cut that on an angle, on a little almost 45-degree angle, just like I was wrapping it, so it wouldn't break the pattern at the end. But who the hell am I impressing over here? Okay, so I screw the hilt back on. Let's see, give it a good feel. Good, still feels solid. This is what I'm trying to accomplish here. A, like I said, make it so that button's not getting hit. I've accomplished that. I can hit that as much as I want, around there, over there, by there, no accidental hits. Awesome. So I did not see any YouTube videos for that whatsoever. Like nothing to protect the where I looked up ignition switch, emitter, activator. I looked every creative type of word you could think of for power button. I even looked that up. I thought, keep it simple, stupid. Kiss, that's the logic I run by, but no, I wasn't even there for that, so. But yeah, that looks like, as long as it holds up, it looks like it's going to be getting pretty good. And the white's already getting dirty just from my hand. And the way it feels, I don't think I'm going to put that electrical tape over. It's going to ruin it. The electrical tape this is going to be dirty in a couple of minutes with my hands, and stuff from the locks, forget about it. The graphite, gotta make it dirty as can be. I mean, if I want to, I could put black marker on it and just make it all black, but I don't know if I want to do that. Anyway, what I was getting to, I might have to do it. I don't want to. I like this little peekaboo window right here. That, I'll have to hit my saber. Come on, come back to life. See how I turn it on through my phone, which I can't do right now.
Power on.
All right, power on. Swing. Twist. Oh man, now it's better. There we go. Okay. So you can still see the power button. It's there, and it even looks pretty, and it changes the color, whatever color the blade is. So that's not fucked. I like that. I like that that's not fucked. But my hand's getting mangled on this damn window just because the weight of the blade is still front heavy. So I want to grab it from literally right there from the hilt and make it work. But I'm covering up the window then. So I really got to start grabbing it from here. And the whole problem was because of that button. So, whatever, I just gotta get used to it now. No more grabbing it by the metal. Grab it right by the power button and just beat up anybody that comes my way. I'm autistic with a lightsaber, baby. I'm dangerous. Oh boy. My poor parents. Sons walk around town and run adult fucking lightsabers. I know they don't understand May the 4th, but yeah, with the both of them. I don't think, Kenobi might be right. I don't know, actually. Yeah, evil bastard. What can I say? Wow. Okay. I'm doing a little test right now, I suppose. The one on the left. Shit, I'm running through the app again. This one's Xenopixel. This is Neopixel. This is an effect. that little sputter. It's not that it's fucked up. That's a emitter effect. I don't know how to change it without going back into the phone. But anyway, I can see through the phone which one's brighter, and it appears this one. And what's funny is I turned this one down to 30%. It's like the volume, the light, the everything. It was to me. This is very loud and like. See, nothing like Obi-Wan. Very. You're saying that there's your swing. It's very controlled, and anyway, checking out that awesome antiquing job I did. Now you really got to sand the shit out of that steel in order for that blue. Well, it's technically calling it bluing, but whatever. This aluminum black, because like I said, it goes on clear, so like it just kind of sits there, and you just see like the carbon build up in like black little patches almost. And you scrub off most of it with sandpaper, and then you dig in some more and put on another coat. But you gotta scrape it off again with sandpaper, otherwise it's gonna be all up on your hands and shit when you're on your saber. And obviously you don't want that. But I mean, yeah, baby. This thing's fucking bright. But it's crazy that this Xeno pixel, the one over here was only at 30%, and that to me was, well, this one technically won. It wasn't by a lot. Like for this to be down 70% of its strength, it was holding up a good one against that one. And there was that the flickering effect in the blade that made it get all, crazy looking. So it's hard to judge, hard to tell. Excuse me. Yeah, wow, it feels good to be out of the hospital. I got to catch up with Nick Pick. Nick Pick's and Rise, and I owe Elroy's Toys chip and challenge lock. So now that I'm pulled out some of my stuff and getting a little more organized, doing this here, getting all my stuff out of storage and organizing it again. It's like I have like my guitar stuff, I have my lock stuff, and now I'm taking like lightsaber stuff. But it's all the same stuff. Like it's all like sandpaper. Like I'm sanding down my frets, I'm sanding down the locks, I'm sanding down the lightsabers. So it's like the same stuff. I just need to pick like one area, make it my work area, and do. But it's I don't have room like that, so I'll tell you where you can get it. I think I got real lucky with that, or in a way. I try to explain to people wisdom. Like you can know whatever you want as far as knowledge, but wisdom is knowing when to put knowledge into action. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can know a race is fixed. If you don't put $1 down, you're not going to win the race. You know what I mean? Or however you want to take that. But I'm just glad I got a stopper for that damn button. So many times last night. That's nighttime's my time. So I'm in my backyard with my dog, and these batteries in these sabers, they take like 4 hours to charge for 2 hours of like playtime, for real. So I gotta wow, I gotta have a lot of backup batteries or have a couple sabers to kind of if I want to stay out there for a minute. But yeah, I made it a nice target. So there's 9 points, going from shoulder to shoulder, hip, knee, head, groin, and then straight stab. That's 9 points. And then back, I have a chimenea, up the chimney. And then on the top, there's it's meant to be stuck in like a post into the ground. And then there's like a carved turkey. It says Happy Thanksgiving on it, and he's holding a cornucopia. So I put that on top of the chimenea. So I got like a turkey's head, and like its arms look like the thing that says Happy Thanksgiving. So it kind of looks like the borderline of like a person, sort of. So I got my 9 spots that I'm hitting or working on. And then nighttime, I go for my walks or whatever. Go around Veterans Park and just in the dark, no one's bothering you. You've got a whole baseball field in front of you. You can run, dance, sing. No one will, hear you for miles. Or if you want to do lightsabers, you could do that too. Oh, I didn't realize. Hi. People saying hi in chat. Hello, 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 very much. Yeah, listen, about Disneyland. Here's what I think. Okay. And I think everybody should be able to do this to some extent. Alright, if I took this lightsaber apart in front of you, it'd be taken apart in 5 pieces, okay? So, you'd have your hilt, right? This is your lightsaber right here. This is the computer, the motion, the everything. Your battery. This is the lightsaber. Okay.
Power off.
See? Now, just like I took this, it comes off every joint. You know what I'm saying? So, technically, if you had a tray, you could take each one of these parts down, and if you had an Obi-Wan, you had Anakin, and you had like a Darth Vader, right? And that person picks ahead of time, they pay for the money, whatever. You take the lightsaber apart, put it out on a tray, like the way the Savvy serves it to them, and then they get to experience it with their family or with, whatever, you or the group or whoever. But it's like here, local in town. You don't have to go to like Disney and deal with Disney people or like any of that shit. Like you just deal with lightsabers and whatever. You put it together. If you don't like the people around you, don't talk to nobody. Go home. If you think the group's kind of cool or whatever, people want to duel or whatever, it's something to do, man. I don't know. But I'm not trying to start an underground fight club with little 14-year-olds trying to spank each other or something. No. But I think it'd be a good little idea if Savvy can do it, literally, pulling that apart into 5 pieces and having them put it, these little Allen screws, man, they're a fucking pain in the ass. Like, just being honest, like, to keep it so that the blade doesn't wiggle and to put it on straight, like, there's all pins on the inside of there that have to connect with the lights. It's whatever. It's not a big deal, but, like, it is a big deal. Now I'm trying to think what I'm going to do with this one. I don't want to leave it just white like that. That just kind of looks just straight fucking weird. Even if you just see it in the dark and you don't see nothing else, it just looks kind of... It's not really a leather wrap. But at the same time, like I said, my hands are real dirty from working with the locks and getting the... if I intentionally grab some graphite from the locks or some dirt even from my backyard or whatever, you can see even as I'm grabbing this from doing all the sanding and shit, I think just from natural time it would almost look like, I don't want to say leather, but I mean like almost like, I guess, pleather. You know what I mean? Like fake leather, or like just a very worn out cotton, or very whatever, I just got to get out. I might even need to put a second whatever so it stops me from going above it. Again, I keep trying to grab it because the weight of the blade is right in the middle. I stop doing that. And after a couple nights of swinging it around, and that's really the gist of it, is the wrist action. And it's all about moving. I mean, it's literally for physical exercise that I'm doing most of this. And it's like, okay, how can I make whatever, working out and stretching the most fun that it possibly could be, or whatever. And that's running around with a lightsaber, and hey, fucking so be it. And you can just work on small stuff like your aim. Just hit the same spot 25 times in a row. You'll see that's hard to do. It's not easy. Like literally, to just pick a spot. I threw it outside. I gotta help pick the edge of the bench. or if I'm swinging, like doing figure eights, I'll make sure I'm just missing the edges of that. And it's not self-controlling. As you're doing that, you're building all your small wrist muscles, and arm muscles, and it's not all about how fast you see those TikTok videos or YouTube things with people doing it. It's called the Obi Annies or Annie Obies, depending on whose videos you watch. But they swing it all fast, and their hip movements in it, and it gets. Yeah, dude, totally, you could do that, absolutely. Can I do that? Not right now. Maybe in a couple weeks. I can't believe how long it's been, like, really, like, the stretch, like sword fight style stretch, like, really, like, kind of choreograph. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't done that in a long time. I was thinking maybe I should continue it down and around, but the plug's right there, so I don't have a lot of room. And to start it from that far back would almost be stupid. I ain't going, it is what the fuck it is, really. It's just when you're holding it from the back right there. Well, because that pad's there, kind of doesn't, I guess. This side feels a little slumped in, feels a little low. But at the same time, that button's right there, so that kind of gives it that little push from underneath. But at the end of the day, it's that part of your hand that's doing the majority of the work, like the twirling and the swinging and the momentum holding. Wow, this metal could take threads a lot. Might have to burn it a little bit. Just let all the loose threads burn off. But I'm definitely not doing this to the Kenobi over here. The Kenobi's meant for antique, and this one's not meant for fighting. Like I said, with a little 1/4 inch cup holding in that 36-inch blade, that ain't happening. And like I said, I really look at that. Look how dark that is. Well, I'm gonna put the thumbnail for the picture for this video, and you're gonna see this before I did it, like 2 hours ago, and you can see it like perfectly bright bronze, like bright brass and bronze. And you're like, wow, that's nothing at all like it does in the video. And that's because chemicals work. Chemicals actually work. How about that? And everybody guessed it, right? But am glad that honestly I was able to get it in this marker form because I was able to do like certain parts over and over and over and over without having to take the whole thing apart. Because there's an emitter in there, and then the wire runs all through down. That's a pain in the ass to get all that shit out of there. I didn't want to have to do that. So, luckily with a pen, you don't have to. The thing is, it's not very deep. You know what I mean? It's very surface only. So it's kind of hard, or you got to get in a position where it's like dripping around and coming, basically running down. I try to get it good on the top and let it run down the canals over here, and then just spread it around with the rag that I was using. But I mean, really, the way you could tell the big difference, like this shit was shiny when I bought it. This is the 3.5 version. I don't know exactly what that means. I'm not a, know every lightsaber Star Wars type person. Honestly, probably couldn't even tell you every single movie in order. There'd be an argument of what the order is as far as, well, do you count New Hope as the first movie, or is that actually the fourth movie? It's the fourth movie according to George, but a lot of fan fiction shit up there. Looking for the May 4th, and it was like, wow, there's a lot, good, AI is making shit crazy. I mean, they had literally Mark Hamill doing Return of the Jedi shit that was not in Return of the Jedi, and it's like, whoa, they're literally rewriting Lucas history here, and it's all I guess they scripted it and they feed it to the AI, and it's like, wow, they were like, oh, that's speaking of it, I tried it on all right. You haven't heard from me for a month because I dropped this phone and the screen cracked and broke to the point I couldn't use it. So I had to wait. I had $350 for a screen to get fixed. This Google damn phones are expensive. Pixel. So, whatever. After a month, I finally got it, and yeah, we're back. But yeah, I was gone for a month, man. That's a long time to be absent for me. Yeah, well, absent and capable. I'll put it that way. I'm still debating what I want to do for this. I have a lot of permanent markers and dyes in shades of black. But much like how after you put the aluminum black on there, you have to kind of scrub it off so it doesn't come off on your hands and you just keep the residual shit on there. I don't want to put black marker all over this and then end up every time I go to use it, I now got black marker hands. So this just might be like what it is. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's honestly different. I think that's what it is, man. It's not the prettiest lightsaber, but it is my most functional. Like if it was a matter of like I had to pick one of these to literally spar with or to like duel with or defend. Here, defend yourself. Yeah, I would definitely pick this one 100%. 100%. And in my head, it's funny. It's like I'm thinking of like this is like this bandage tape that I used to use to like tape up brass knuckles. Like cut it down the middle and put two strips down. And have the four hoops. And start putting through the hoops and then put your fingers through until they're so goddamn tight that you really barely get the brass knuckles on. Technically, it's batting tape, but yeah, people use it for all types of shit. I like taping lightsabers. Wow, yikes, 47 minutes I've been putting this lightsaber together. Look at that. How about that? It's a long time to be talking about a lightsaber. I'm just happy, honestly, that I succeeded in my mission of blocking the button because according to them, they're like, oh, just turn it off in the app. No, there is no turning off the buttons on from the lightsaber off in the app. That's not a thing. So I'm glad now that's not a thing. At the same time, I'm glad I'm able to retain the light because it's cool how all this lights up in the handle. My other one's got kyber crystals all inside of it, so I like that one too. That's going to be my 3 videos. It's going to be the antiquing of this. It's going to be the, I have the Anakin Skywalker one where it's the kyber crystals in the middle and it's broken and it's split. Half's red, half's black. I like that one a lot. Probably the nicest one I have. And it's silver too. So it gets fingerprints all over the place. I mean, all over the place. I mean, real bad fingerprints. I mean, these guys, I don't have to worry about this. I mean, this one's so antique, now you gotta be more worried about getting your hands dirty and putting fingerprints on it. And forget about losing those, or losing those little Allen keys. Man, dude, for $1.50 on Amazon, it's totally worth getting a little hex screwdriver. Like if you're going to be assembling and disassembling these things, and they use these 1.5 millimeter on the small end, and then 2.5 on the large end. That's still tiny, man. For my locks, I use 3 millimeter M3s and M4s for like the lock chambers. So I mean that's that much smaller than them. Like they're tiny. I mean, I don't have anything to really compare it to in the hilt. But I mean that little tiny hole, that in there is a little tiny micro grub screw, little tiny baby grub screw. There's just 3 of them pushing, pressure on a blade, keeping it in there. As I don't trust the Kenobi one. Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's a brighter light. It's better fonts. It's better put together. A hell of a lot more expensive. Well, not a lot, $100 more, but for $200 lightsaber, that's a hell of a lot more, right? I ain't got money like that. But the other one with the split kyber crystal, oh, that's cool. Here, I'll go get it. So it's all three that I have. And that right there is if you're a Disney fan, I know the Mandalorian. The Mando is Darkbird. And those are the kyber crystals spinning on the inside. Now, normally that would be all types of pretty shiny chrome, steel. My hands are all sweaty, greasy, and I have that chrome black all sweat on me, so I'm trying not to get it all over the good one. But I like that. I like the duality of it. Like it shows the moment where Anakin, as a Padawan, or killing the Padawans, Order 66, and it, like, the only way to get a red blade or a red crystal is by bleeding it. So, the act of killing all those younglings, all the kids, it literally like shattered his crystal. It wasn't just like his soul, it wasn't just his mind. It like literally shattered like the force, shattered the crystal. And that was the way the Emperor won. Right there, psychologically. But I like that, the duality. And then it has. Again, I don't speak or read it, but I just know what it says from reading the ad that I bought it from. But I want to clean it so you could at least see it. But that's Aramish. Aramish. So on top, it says, I have the high ground. So that was Obi-Wan. Anakin, I have the high ground. And then Anakin responds, you do not know my power. I think that's very cool. Because that's another defining moment. So between the, Order 66 of killing the younglings and then having to fight Obi-Wan, that would be very soul splitting. That's what I want to say. I'm trying to think of another word besides soul, but really, that'd be soul shattering, soul splitting. So to have that in the Force and to have that represented in the kyber crystals, it's kind of cool. Really dig this one. And not forgetting with this one, you could see how much work I did on the box. So like, there's Anakin's. I did light work, so like you could see the brass from me already, with sandpaper, just bring it down so it's not as sharp. But then, look at that one. I mean, I rounded those edges. My whole point for this one is to make it like it was for New Hope, man. It was stashed in the Tatooine desert for decades, waiting for Luke to come stumbling by and waiting for him. It got rusty, moldy, and whatever the hell else. So for each one, I have that's, I guess, my childhood growing up with Obi-Wan, and then I'm not really a fan so much of the middle trilogy, I guess. I like Revenge of the Sith. That's a great one. That one's good. Not so much Phantom Menace, even though I like Darth Maul. He's alright. And you think, whoa, Max, you love the villains normally. Yeah, no, and he's cool. Even in the written canon, he doesn't die like he does in the movie. He actually becomes like a hybrid spider kind of thing. But then instead of that, they become all the legs like normal. So for a while, he's walking around with like kind of think Dr. Octopus a little bit. I don't know how else to describe it, but he has like multiple limbs that he's walking around on. So he's kind of like Darth Vader, mostly a machine, but he has like the top half of him that Qui-Gon cut in half, and then that part gets cybernetically enhanced into Darth Maul again. At least that's my understanding of it. I didn't mean to make that a Star Wars up to date lecture, but I know I haven't been watching, man. With uh, the May 4th. Hey, May the 4th be with you. But with May 4th, it's been not free. All the places that they have been free, they pulled it from. So I don't like tried to force you to have to pay for it somewhere. Like it wasn't on Hulu. It wasn't on YouTube. I mean, I have it on DVD. I'm old, so I already got DVDs and box sets and whatnot. But you were able to stream it if you had Disney Plus and you had whatever else. I mean, you don't even think about it. Like, yep, what do you mean? It's right there next to the Mandalorian and anything else Star Wars. That'd be the place to find it. Or Disney, yeah, Disney Plus. Sorry. But yeah, man, those are my three sabers. So that's the antiquing, that's my showpiece, and that's the war piece. So I got three nice pieces. And that's a nice way to wrap up this fairy tale. That's very nice. Very nice. Very good. I get back to picking time, man. For real. Got most of my locks back out of storage now. They're just in the garage. It's crazy how it goes from too cold to too hot so fast. Like 2 weeks ago, it was like, oh man, dude, it's still 48 degrees, 55 degrees, kind of cold to be working in the garage. Give it another week. All of a sudden today, it's like 80 something, sweating out there. After I was outside doing lightsaber shit instead of lock shit in the garage. Too fucking hot. I owe people stuff from locks for a minute. Oh, you need to buy one, huh? Who's your guy, Creative 69? If you're still watching. Sorry, it took me forever to respond, but yeah, who's your guy? Like, if you could pick any lightsaber in the Star Wars universe, who would it be? There's a lot of nice hilts. Count Dooku's is nice. That's kind of like elegant and exotic. Yoda's little one, even though it's small, that's a nice little piece. I don't want to keep naming them because I don't want to. You could be like, oh, that was mine. I'm not going to type it now. But for real, tell me what's yours. If you had a lightsaber, if you had a choice of any one of any of the characters, you don't even have to know a lightsaber, just like the character. Who would be your person? I don't know. Like I said, it's weird watching it again as an adult. As a kid watching it, I guess because the way it was viewed to you then is like Luke was the hero's journey. So it's like, as a kid or anybody, you saw it through Luke's eyes. But then after seeing it through Luke's eyes, they kind of rewind it and now you're seeing it through Anakin's eyes. And then you kind of see like an echo. You know what I mean? Like the father and son echo. So then there's the Empire Strike Back. Luke, I'm your father. And it's like, whoa, like yeah, well, that's a lot more of a whoa, like real life psychology. Like if there's a big echo as far as father son control, like going to the dark side, not being able to control their emotions, not able to. So that's why I mean, hey, in a way, if Vader would have corrupted Luke, would they have together conquered the galaxy? I mean, probably, but it wouldn't have been anything that I think Luke would have been happy with. He would have been his father's servant, just the way his father was a servant to Palpatine, his bitch. So if I was Luke, I wouldn't want to be my dad's bitch. That sucks. All right, no one wants to chime in and tell me their favorite Star Wars characters. Wow. Oh, people just go live and they're just like, ask me anything and I'll answer. Who's your favorite Star Wars guy? Who's your favorite Avenger? Who's your favorite? And they just like list all these things, and dude just answers them, and he gets money. It's crazy, crazy place this world it is. I swear. Yeah, between picking locks, playing guitar, and messing with lightsabers. I'm not like, YouTube's algorithm person. Like, I'm not the person that they're getting favorites of, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just cleaning up a little bit behind the scenes. And for the most part, my work, I've been doing this for 2 days now. 3 days for the most part. Whole lot of sanding, man. For that aluminum to work, you really got to sand it and scrape that aluminum first, because it lives like in the cracks and in the crevices. But I think that in the end, it's very fucking good, man. Very
Power
good.
off.
I think it's ancient looking. I've been sitting in the desert decades. Exactly how it's supposed to be. And it's crazy. If you go on like eBay right now, this one is now $500. The one that I bought, that like the one that this was or is whatever, is 300. But the one that's weathered, and the only thing that's different on the model is instead of this copper strip, there's little bulbs, and you could change that out or you glue it on top. It's not like it's a major thing that can't be changed out or put on top of. But for the most part, it's the aging, and that's where everyone told me it's aluminum black, aluminum black, aluminum black. Whole lot of scratching in aluminum black. And if you don't do the sandpaper afterwards, man, you're going to regret it, because you're going to pick up the lightsaber later. It's going to get sweat all in your hands and all in your gloves and all in whatever. You don't want to do that, trust me. Yo, I'm so stoked that works, man. I'm happy I got that to work, for real. I had a little doubt in my head that I was going to make a cardboard cutout, but then it would be so thick. I was like, how thick can I possibly make it for cardboard and still make it work functionally as a button? You know what I mean? Like 2 pieces of tape, that's okay. That's able to hold it down. But if I put a piece of cardboard on top of that, you ain't getting to the button. So I like, it's like, I'm not hitting it by accident at all. I want to intentionally. I can. I like that. I just really gotta get used to that. That's my grip. That is my grip. That's my rifle, it's my gun, it's for fighting, it's for fun. That's Full Metal Jacket, sorry. I couldn't help it. That gun, son, that's a rifle. So I hope everybody had a good weekend. So again, someone tell me, who's your favorite Star Wars character? If you got to grab one lightsaber from one of your favorites, who would it be? Yeah, nobody. No Jedis, no Siths, no takers. Wow. No lightsaber lovers tonight. Wow. I would probably say, if I could have one and only one, probably Cal from Jedi Survivor. Yeah. Just because it could be like a double blade, it could be a cross blade, it's a very adaptable blade. I like that. I like the idea of swapping out emitters and swapping out parts and having a whole new piece. You know what I mean? And I love that this one has a charger right there, so I don't have to keep taking the battery out. I just wish it was someplace convenient, like the bottom. Just to have it right there. I mean, I know they're just trying to make it convenient in the sense of, but I think plugging in the bottom would make a lot more sense than right in the middle where your hand holds the thing, Yeah, that's a lot better. Yeah, you can see it for the first three down. I retained the shapes of the metal, and then those last two rounds, they're double stacked. So I lost the second, I guess, X or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, right there, you can see it. I broke the pattern when I came down right there. Oh well. I mean, really, if you're close enough to be seeing it like that, you're way too close to. I ended that abruptly too. I should have cut that a little bit more up here, but I just didn't want anything getting into the charge port. So I didn't want like a little sharp little doodad that would, once the glue starts going bad, it's gonna get loose and whatever. So again, that's another thing that's gonna be in the palm of my hand. Who the hell's gonna see that you know, unless you're defeating me and you're taking my beaten lightsaber out of my hand, and now you're just mocking me in victory and walking away, making fun of my lightsaber. That would be very bad. I don't like losing duels like that. And if I'm dueling with somebody like that, well, it's more like fighting words. It's just, lightsaber breaking. I've never done that, honestly. Went full force with a lightsaber. Like I said, I had like kendo classes, so in a way, I already know like how to pull your punches. You don't go full swing. Like, all right, all out of these three, this one's a 7/8. Those two are 1 inch. This one little eighth of an inch makes a world of difference. This one, for whatever reason, maybe the weight of the crystals actually, I just found that reason. This one's very balanced in your hand. So I stay away from this damn emitter, the whatever box, the power box. As long as you can stay away from that, but then you're covering the whole kyber crystal exposure. So if you're trying to be cool and you want everybody to see your cool crystal shining, then you got to hold it out that way. I don't care about that more, so normally it ends up in my hand. I more care about, like I said, I didn't roll the edges like the way I did the other one. This one, I really rolled the edges. And you can see they're different versions of the. There's one more. I'm missing the original one from New Hope, the flash ones. Like they're like five little bubbles, like that go down it. They're clear, like little tiny dots, like little tiny bubbles, looks like. But yeah, they're flashes. I saw people sell them online to swap them out or do whatever. I was thinking about getting one, just crazy glue on top of it, just because the antiquing came out so good on it. I don't mean to keep tooting my own horn. I'm just surprised the chemical works so good. I don't like I'm surprised chemicals and drugs work, but like I'm surprised it worked that good. Like I mean this, you'll see when I do the thumbnail for this video how shiny and shit that was just hours ago. It was brand new. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird too what I see with a lot of these saber companies. Their deals in the sense of you give us like 600 to like 1,000 or $200,000 and like pick one good one, and then we're gonna send you like a not very good version of this one and a mystery no name, and everything here is some type of Neo or Xeno pixel, but they're RBG, red, green, blue. They're baselit. No, that's the end of the world because they're a little more sturdy for impact. But I mean, I prefer having the whole live action, you know, shit. I mean, if you're gonna go, might as well go to 9s, right? Okay, well, I think that's gonna bring us to the conclusion for tonight's thing. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, that would be kind of cool to trace. Maybe I'll just trace the X for Knox. Yeah, with the black. I'll just do the X. I won't do anything else, just that. Oh, maybe I'll do, yeah, there you go. I'll do the, let me share that with you. I'll do the X. You see that X? Gotta see the X. I'll do that X, and then every, or maybe like every other line coming down here, I'll do black. Maybe. Yeah, yeah. The plain, whatever, looks like it's just wrapped. Like the stuff that they send you with the, well, you gotta order it. They don't just send it with you, but take my marker, make that a big black X, and then paint me some rings. They did send me some rings to assemble, like to put in at random places, but it didn't look good anywhere, and it just kind of complicated the equation, so to speak. So I had a couple in the hilt, but I think they might have just fallen off in how many times I've had to change it since. I mean, I still have a few in the bag, but they gave me a few. Again, I think it's meant to do one of two things. Either give you a visual of like adding a metal stripes in your thing, or it's changing the thread count so that the body and hilt line up in a certain way so that the whole lightsaber hilt looks a certain way. I kind of believe that is the case. Oh, I forgot to cut the hole. Oh, man. I was like, oh, remember to mark this hole. And I marked it, but then I covered it with the next go around. Oh, man. How about that? I marked it and then covered it up with the next piece of tape. Oh, well. To tell you honestly, dude, I don't put the things to put it on my hip anyways. So I'm not really sweating it. But it's just funny. I fucking marked it and now it's gone forever. No, they're mostly in the same place of all of them. So if you find like the rotation, it's normally like just to the right. So that's always swinging on your belt in the same direction. And ideally. Okay. I think it's going to be time to wrap this one up today. It is. Oh, wow. It's only 2:20. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I thought it was going to be getting dark soon. In my head, I'm like, all right, I'm already choreographing fights for my swords and shit. I'm like, all right, I'm going to be all right. This one, who got to get over here to play with this one? No one's touching this one. I was going back in my room. But yeah, I can't even find people to come over and do Star Wars. So, yeah, I don't know. You want to hang out and, like, play Star Wars? Let me know. Give me a shout. We'll work it out. I have no problem with it. So, I don't know, man. This is Knox Locks saying anything is possible when everything is unlockable. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate you checking out my channel. If you saw anything that you liked or was somehow informed, entertained, or anything else of the sort, likes would be cool. Subscribing would help a lot more, dude. Trying to push to that 1,000 actually, like, be considered a person in YouTube. So, yep. Thank you. Enjoy your evening. Catch you on the flip side.